I hate to be the one to tell you this, but booked and busy is not the flex that you think it is. When you first get started out of grad school, you end up longing for a full caseload, right? You need to get them hours logged as fast as you can, and you want to get out of the associate license and onto the full panel pay. And that is exactly what you're willing to do by any means necessary. So you long for and crave booked and busy. But as a private practice owner, booked and busy is very expensive, and it might just be a signal that your business isn't as stable as it could be. Here's the thing about being booked and busy: it can hide the flaws in your business, it can convince you that things are going well. But what happens is when you actually sit down and you look at your bank accounts, you might realize that you're not quite as booked as you thought you were, or that busyness is still leaving you just below where you want to be financially. But this is what my one-on-one clients typically tell me, is that booked in busyness that they have, that sometimes feels okay financially and sometimes doesn't, it is always coming at the cost of their emotional regulation and their nervous system. Because when you are booked and busy, you always feel like you have to hold everything together. I cannot tell you the number of private practices that are being held together by a hope, a prayer, and a little bit of duct tape. I was in I think it was a compliance training one time, and the facilitator of the training said, "What's the first thing that breaks in your business if you have to take a day off, or if you have to take a week off, or a month off?" And I was like, "Oh, what?" It was a really interesting thought, because there are some things that would literally fall apart if you had to be off work for an extended period of time. So yes, you're booked and busy, but can your business survive you needing a day, a week, a month, or even longer off of work? If you can't do that, then you don't have a business. You actually have a job. A truly sustainable and stable private practice isn't about how booked and busy you are. It's about the number of things that could completely fall apart without you losing your paycheck. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a good, honest look at our business, and we're gonna do it immediately. Take a breath. This is okay. You can handle it. All right. First and foremost, what could break and immediately cause you to have a dip in your income? Okay. What thing, if it stopped working, would immediately cause you to lose revenue? Over the last couple of weeks prior to me recording this video, we have had a change of ownership on TikTok, which took several people, including myself, from getting, a particular level of views on your content down to zero, or, 20, 30, 40 views when you typically are getting hundreds or even thousands more. If my business was only dependent on TikTok, if TikTok went down, my business could struggle, right? Now, obviously, my business is not only dependent on TikTok, even though I love it as a platform. But if that thing went down, I would have a hard time, right? Right now, in the past 30 days, I have had several people telling me that they are, insurance payouts from their specific contracts that they work under have been delayed. And so they might be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks behind on getting paid. And they are starting to struggle with how they keep up with. So what are the areas of your business that if something in there was to break, that you would feel a pretty quick change in your income? This could be an operations question. Like, if I had to be off for any period of time, I know that certain things wouldn't get done because nobody else knows how to do them, or because I'm the only one in my business doing it. This could be an issue of, if your website went down, people wouldn't be able to access things. It's one of those downsides of having everything like all inclusive, but sometimes that is definitely an issue. Do you have a backup plan to that? Even though you might not, have to access that on a regular basis, having that operations backup plan so that you know what to do in a crisis, that matters. For some people, one of the things that they realize when they start to think along these lines is that their revenue is so tight that they don't have the breathing room that's necessary to be able to put some backup plans in place. So you have ideas about things that you could do, you just can't afford to do them. And that is a business structure issue, right? If you're not bringing in enough revenue from your one-to-one sessions to give you that breathing room, which FYI, you might not be. it puts you in a really tough position. Most private practice owners are actually running with about 10 to 15% profit, which is just above breaking even and not enough to give you that cushion that you need. I like to see my clients be somewhere between 30 to 40% consistently in terms of the profit that they're generating on a regular basis. And so if your business isn't set up that way, if it's not structured that way, that might actually be the root cause of the problem. But over here, we like to talk about peace and profit, because I don't want you to just get paid. I want you to actually be able to enjoy your life. So the second question is all about that. Where are you in your business overcompensating with your physical, cognitive, or emotional labor, where you could have a system or a process or even another person supplementing that? I have seen lots of private practice owners who believe that the only way that they could actually get admin support is by hiring somebody full time, or people who are so busy doing all the things, yet they haven't documented anything. So the idea of hiring somebody actually feels like more work than it is even worth, because you would have to basically train them to be your brain. In either one of those instances, you are on the fast track to burnout. In neither one of these instances do you inherently improve the function of your business by adding more clients. Even if you need more money, right? You improve the function of your business by making sure that you are structured in a way that supports the life that you want to live. And typically it doesn't involve throwing out everything plus the baby and the bathwater. It typically actually involves just restructuring a few things, a few solid tweaks, and implementing a couple of supports. And this is exactly what we talk about in my CEO Clarity Workshop. This is a 90-minute session that I designed for the therapist who is at capacity, wanting to maybe earn more, but needing to structure their business in a way that will allow them to do that, right? So I talk to a lot of therapists who tell me that they're basically squeezing in their admin stuff in between sessions, and so they don't have that dedicated container for making CEO level decisions. And so they spend all of their time in reactivity and not enough of their time proactively choosing what needs to be done. So CEO Clarity is a workshop that gives you time to do just that. You literally make decisions in the room. And when you leave with the support of a great plan that tells you exactly what to do. Now, I encourage everyone to sign up for the VIP upgrade, which also gives you that accountability check-in a little ways down the road so you don't slip back into bad habits. But the room gives you exactly what you need to stay focused. For most people, this means they're doing less, not more, because we can eliminate the stuff that doesn't matter by outsourcing or creating a system for it. And it gives you the time and the energy and the bandwidth to invest in those high profit services that are going to give you more breathing room financially. So if you would like to make sure that you are not just booked and busy, but that you are profitable and peaceful, CEO Clarity is a reset button for your business. And I would love to invite you to join us. Somewhere around this video, you're going to see a link to sign up. And I would also encourage you to check out that VIP upgrade so that you can make sure that you get a little bit of check-in and one-on-one eyes on your business as well.